Well, we're back in Lynn Matava's kitchen, a nutrition educator with the University of Maryland Extension.
And this week, Lynn has a recipe for pickled pink onions. Let's check it out.
Have you ever heard that we eat with our eyes first? Food that's aesthetically pleasing and that's vibrant, has bright colors, is just more exciting for us to eat. And that means even healthy foods. So what we're going to make today are some pickled pink onions, and you can just see the gorgeous pink color they have. They're so vibrant and bright, and they pack a punch of flavor and a bunch of crunch to our food. I did a bunch of rhyming there and didn't even intend to, but they make things like black beans and tacos, even fish sandwiches, grain bowls, all sorts of things pop with color, which just makes it more exciting for us to want to sit down and eat it. When food looks beautiful, we're also more willing to slow down and savor it, and that's really important for our health and digestion. So let's get started. I have some red onions here. They've been washed. This one's been peeled. And to make this recipe, we are basically just slicing up 2 red onions and then covering it in vinegar. And I cut this one in half lengthwise so that my pieces are not too long. They're long enough, but they're not, so long that they are going to be kind of difficult to eat. If I hadn't cut them in half because this is such a large onion, they just would have been really big loops. And I'm putting them in this bowl here. Now normally we would be doing this in a pan, which I brought out to show you, but I'm doing it in the bowl just so you can see it while I'm doing it in front of you. We would bring these onions to a boil in a cup of white vinegar. This is already hot. And we want to make sure with our vinegar, for a food safety standpoint, that it says on the container that it's at least 5% acidity. And that's how we know that it's going to be safer and it's going to keep these at a good point to eat longer without them growing bacteria. So to this bowl, I'm also going to add a bay leaf. You could add something like some thyme. You could add mustard seeds. I'm going to add a couple black peppercorns, and probably I would want a little bit more of this vinegar before this goes onto the stove, just because I want to make sure that it is fully submerged. And then to this you could also add, if you wanted to add a little bit of salt and sweetener, you could add a little bit of sugar. So you could add about 2 tablespoons of sugar, a tablespoon of salt. And this is going to go on the stove top, and it's going to cook for 3 minutes. Just bring it to a boil, let it cook for 3 minutes, and then you're going to let this fully cool, and you'll put it in the refrigerator. You can strain most of the vinegar off and put it in the refrigerator. And you can eat it right away, but honestly it takes about 3 to 5 days to really give it this beautiful pink color. And then it's all ready to use, and it'll last in your refrigerator for up to a month, which is pretty cool. And just look at how purple these are. They have great anti-inflammatory properties with all those anthocyanins. That's where we get that lovely pink color once it reacts with the vinegar. And they're also going to be prebiotic, which means they're going to help with our gut health. They're loaded with fiber. And again, they're just so vibrant. And vibrant food means vibrant health. So easy. I highly recommend you try this. And if you do, let us know what you think.
Well, as a reminder, head to WMDT.com and click on the Good Morning Delmarva tab to check out more of nutrition educator Lynn Matava's tips and tricks.
And you can share your version of this delicious recipe by using the hashtag UMDYum.
Well, Jake, those onions actually match my outfit today. Have you ever tried pickled pink onions?
Yeah, I've had them on a couple sandwiches. Pretty good. That gives a different taste, and it's a good way to preserve food, and it's good for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I've had them a few times, and they always add a nice touch to something.
Yeah, it's a nice crunch in a bowl or something, for sure.
Definitely.